All right, so tell me about the aliens, the disclosure, Project Bluebeam.
Marco Rubio has come out saying in this new documentary that's about to be released that these UFOs are hovering over our nuclear sites, which goes back, I believe, to the Maelstrom incident as well, where there's this spoofing that happens, where the footage gets messed up, sort of like Jeffrey's footage is missing like a second, and it gets a little manipulated. It's a term called spoofing. That's what the CIA, I think, calls it. And so I think it's the Maelstrom incident where these UFOs went over like a nuclear facility and messed with the log. So it looked like they were about to launch off all the different missiles, or maybe they stopped it, something like that. And it seems like this just recently happened. Marco Rubio's talking about it. Now, I'm not saying that I believe this.
Yeah, so why is Marco Rubio even talking about it? What's your opinion on that? Why are they disclosing it?
Well, so we got an alien coming from Harvard Studies, the same place that also Jeffrey comes out of, all these different colleges. The Three-Eye Atlas is going to pass the sun tonight or yesterday.
What's that, a star?
It's an alien interstellar star that Harvard's saying, and then other people.
Wait, an inter-alien star?
It's like a spacecraft emitting some type of frequency sounds, but also the Earth is emitting some kind of blob frequency.
Well, that happens. Yeah, I know
as
that.
Well. So it's just a bunch of wild stuff, but why right now our own government telling us that UFOs exist, which is also a psychological operation, the UFO switching from those terms. That term was coined by J. Allen Hynek, who is an author on the UFOs. He came up with the term closer encounter, and you got closer encounter of the first kind to the fourth kind, and the first kind is a UAP. So the psychological operation is changing those terms according to this book I'm reading by Reza Georgiani, and I don't want to misquote.
Yeah, what were you saying prior? Because prior to the camera going on, you were saying something really important.
The government is telling us these aliens exist, but they're not talking about the abductions, because there's a lot of reports that go back in time.
Take it for what you will, but yeah, in Maui, I'll just keep it kind of like on the D-low, but like, no, they saw like alien craft.
Really?
Yeah, on separate incidences. And then I didn't see it with my own eyes, but in Maui, like during the lockdowns, there was a huge football field styled solar paneled craft, which if you look it up, you'll see that they have, that's like government, like DARPA type stuff, lights in the sky recently. And there's been no chemtrails at all. Like, look at the skies. Like I was even commenting that in my crazy video earlier. No chemtrails. So I don't know, maybe like just like
that cloud
speak to that.
Could be a UFO. Oh, so what shape was it? Do you know? Because
it was like a, so the UFOs were like a circle.
Like a cigar?
No.
Okay. Like a
just stars. So there's a preacher, I don't know I don't know his name, but he actually predicted Donald Trump will be shot in the ear.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay. He's now predicting the craft, the alien craft, the UFOs.
The circular one that everyone knows, like it. So that's the time traveling. They're time traveling.
Yeah, so well, what's the purpose of that? Because like the guy that was talking about that was saying it was coming from the main craft. And those are like satellites coming from the main UFO vehicle, like Independence Day. I don't even, this is not my research quota. So like, why is that even existing?
So what's making everyone like, what's going on with these UAPs is that they're moving from here, then disappear, vanish, and then appear somewhere else, like immediately, which is impossible for us to do. So it's tied into time traveling. And the spinning part of the saucer, that is a lot like the event horizon of a black hole, which is the outer type ring of the black hole, which swallows all like the space-time. So when they're moving around and you see them, what it is, it's sort of like a cursor in a video game, just changing the gameplay. So it's not...
So are we in a simulation? So what's going on? Because the event horizon is about like the singularity is near in the Ray Kurzweil books, and also the AI taking over. So my opinion, yours might be more expertise in this area, but like, is that they want us to think there's an alien invasion so that they can bring the alien what they created, which is AI, artificial intelligence, alien invasion, so that they can sell this idea to the American public, or the public at large. Like, what is your opinion on that?
So the singularity happened in the 1850, around then, and that's when the event horizon happened. When we see the different UAPs, it's just changing like a video game. Gameplay, saving states, or you get Mandela effect or deja vu. And what the hypothesis is that I'm reading about is that it's just time traveling. So it's just humans time traveling. It's not alien. It's humans, ancestors time traveling and changing stuff.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it gets even more wild. But I'll keep it
PC.
Yeah.
PC. Yeah. So I was going to think about one more comment, but because I've never heard of that theory that it was in the 1800s.
Yeah, so
because that's crazy. Because I think the singularity. This is just my opinion, but I thought the singularity hit like 2016 with all the algorithm changes. So why would the singularity hit
in the 1850s?
Yeah. So like, what changed? Yeah. What changed?
So Tesla was working on
Nikola Tesla.
Free energy, and he was being funded by Astor, prominent guy who sank in the Titanic. And
okay, that makes sense.
At the same time, Rockefeller, they were also working on this time traveling tech. So when people are talking about those ships, what they are time traveling ships. And I'm getting this from book Closer Encounters I'm reading right now. I'm not making this up. I'm getting that information from that book source. The free energy technology, a lot of it was for 0 point energy to travel quickly. So if you are in a war or a battle, if you can get from this island to the other island in a second, you're going to have a big advantage. So so
that's a thought with the Pentagon disclosures, is that we're seeing 0 point energy craft move in and out.
Yeah.
Why would they be disclosing that to us? So that's the question that I have. I'm not saying I have the answer, but like, why are they even showing that stuff to us?
That's a great question. I'm not sure why, but according to this book I'm reading, it could be a psychological operation to remove it from the fourth encounters and just keep us focused on the first encounters. But this is interesting about the Titanic and Tesla and Astor. Astor was the main guy funding Tesla and his technology. So was Rockefeller. And Rockefeller, who also funded the Third Realm, that's all tied into it as well. After Astor sunk in the Titanic, the most prominent figure of the Titanic, then Tesla was left to rot. He didn't have a main funder to fund his free energy.
I've read that, yeah.
So Rockefeller and company had the technology to keep building.
Yeah.
And they also funded other things like...
Well, I know Nikola, he died on the 33rd floor.
He did?
Of his building. Did you know that? Yeah, it was like, you have to look up the room, but it was on the 33rd floor. And then he obviously was like more significant than Thomas Edison in the invention of electrical currents, and had I don't know all the history, but I think it was alternating current, I think.
Okay.
That he developed, and basically it was just marketing where Thomas Edison took over. But Nikola had the better tech. And then the Trumps, John Trump, a part of the lineage, took and not stole, but he worked for the CIA and basically harbored all that deep state intelligence essentially from Nikola when he died on the 33rd floor.
And a little, synchronicity that there's the Baron Trump time traveling book about the last president, like Trump, that was written in the 1890s, like just a few years after the Singularity event horizon. So in this time frame, they're writing books about time travel. It was a big thing with all that. But the 33 is interesting because there's a Twilight Zone episode called Flight 33, and I know you've covered extensively on the Malaysian airline flight back in the day. Do we even know what happened?
Yeah, so as much as people, I'll just give my opinion, it could be wrong, but as much as people want to say it was like a UFO disclosure brought up in the sky, I don't believe that. I think it was like terror, or I think the pilot just murdered everybody, in a suicide mission into the ocean. They don't want people to know that. And so they just basically covered it all up. Either that, or it was a shot out of the sky by Russia or another country like that, and it was just like bad PR. And so they just covered it up. And honestly, I would, if I had to bet my life, like someone had a gun in my head, I would say that was the truth. Although I understand why people want to believe it was some kind of UFO disclosure. I'm not saying that couldn't be the case. That's my honest, brutal opinion. But yeah, it's very odd, though.
So check this out.
Yeah.
So the Twilight Zone episode, Flight 33, Odyssey 33 or whatever, it's about going into another dimension, like a portal, sort of, right? So that story is like, so it's very similar to the Bermuda Triangle, where you got all the missing planes and shit. So I'm not saying that's connected. You're probably right.
Well, I think the big question is, which you should investigate and put out in your documentary or whatever you're doing, but just like why are they disclosing it? See, that's the question. Why? Like, if they're disclosing aliens or UFOs or this idea that there's a conspiracy, there's something more behind that.
Yeah.
Which personally, I think I know the answer, but I'm not saying, like I 100% know, but I think I know what the agenda is. So it's like, could we uncover the agenda?
Well, so why I'm interested in reading this thing is because I grew up on the X-Files and always liked that. Then I read a report on what's the MK Ultra, Rockefellers, and the Clintons have in common. It's on this website, Canadian Patriot, and it blew my mind, like how I fell for it. I fell for like the whole thing, and I'm like, wow, there's this deep state, operation happening with this whole story of this pantheon of the Greys and the Starseeds and it's all, So now I'm going even deeper reading this book, and it gets even wilder, like where the imagery is coming from and how far back it goes, and it gets into like philosophy and time. It's just wild, yeah.
Yeah, what do we don't know? That's kind of the question, and yeah, you see it on all these like Joe Rogan podcasts and stuff, and
yeah, and it's things called them. Yeah, so I have my own. These aren't my.
Yeah, well, what do you think? So, what do you think outside of you've read the books or you're reading books, but like, what is in your gut instinct of what is going on?
What I think is going on is that they're setting up new belief system. Rogan is the most mainstream. Like, if you like mainstream pop music, Joe Rogan is the most mainstream it gets. And he's telling the mainstream, people who listen to him, the collective group thought, to take these different belief changing fungus and different things like that.
It's a good word, yeah.
And then also having his comedy thing, The Mothership with the UFO, and he has all the different Harold Puthoff on talking about it. It's the move people from, and this is what I think, move people from an Abrahamic thinking of like thousands of years to a new thinking, a new belief system, because our belief system, like a placebo effect, if we believe something like a sugar pill, it works. It's in our body, it's in our system. And the only way to reset that system, the autonomic nervous system, is through like these shaman experiences. So when people are locked down on AI on the Oculus, it is simulating the same shamanic type experience people would do in the jungle with their tribe. But
so what is the old system, belief system, and what is the new one you think they're trying to push?
They're just moving the collective society from a belief system of the Abrahamic beliefs to a new belief that they'll just...
So describe that, because forgive my ignorance, but the Abrahamic belief system, what is that? Like, we're talking like old world judo Christianity.
Yeah, stuff.
Okay, so that new belief system, I'll just interject maybe a quick thought, but like, so my personal opinion is they're interjecting in this new AI God worship biological merger of iron and clay, which is like from a Christian, Judeo-Christian perspective, like you're saying. Like, I think that's the whole reason for the alien card that they're pushing, is that they want people to worship this new system, this new technology, this new programming, etc. So UFOs and aliens are just like an excuse to brainwash the people into the new technology.
That's a good point. And it's all interconnected. That's the thing. The lockdowns, the AI, as you coined, the alien invasion. There's a correlation between the two with what happened in the lockdowns. There's a huge correlation to both of them. The alien sickness and then
Yeah, but there's something else we haven't thought of too. That's kind of the weird part about it.
it gets
There's something else, like that's why, like I'm not like saying I know definitively.
It's fascism.
I'm kind of like, yeah, like
That's what it is.
there's
It's a
something
worldwide
here.
It's all in the worldwide fascism, worldwide communism type control.
Yeah, and so if there are aliens and they disclose some kind of massive UFO, what happens then? I mean, will society just break down?
So you got different religious institutions already ready to convert them and funding movies like Men in Black and so there's a big agenda at play.
Okay, well, if Independence Day comes, I want to make sure you and I are on the fighter jet.
Yeah.
Fighting them.
Yeah, so it's just, I don't even, I'm just learning about the history of where these ideas come from, of the different Nordic aliens who are our own like ancestry that are time traveling, and then the famous Greys are these robots. It's interesting stuff.
Well, yeah, what is alien too? Because God is alien to this universe in a way. Everything's alien that's not of this world. So what does that mean?
Well, also just the terminology alien, we use it like illegal alien. It's also corporate, where you put a lien. A lien is spelled like alien, a lien on someone so they could come and work for a corporation. So there's also
That's weird.
The tie-in, and then there's the symbolic tie-ins as well, of the sun rising over the mountain, the Twin Peaks, and we see that in all the different logos, and that's sort of connected to it. If you look at the Denver airport, it's the ancient Egyptian symbol of the Akhet. I think that plays a big role because in the movie by Spielberg, Closer Encounters of the Third Kind, that's the symbol. It looks just like the Akhet. And even during the lockdown in Bill's book on the lockdowns, he has the ancient symbol of the Akhet, which is the sun rising over the Twin Peaks in the mountain, going back to Pharaoh days. And this goes back to like the battles in the sky too, with the ships with the Hindus.
All right, well, you're going to have to break all this down in full detail.
I'm still digesting
Yeah, no.
it.
If the aliens exist, I just know I want to be fighting with you, Donut.